Hello and welcome to another episode of The Fan and the Critic, and welcome to our 81st episode that we've done. When we started this podcast, we obviously started with a lot of stuff that me and Paulo are very passionate about. We did zombie movies, we did sci-fi movies, space, war, we did all of the stuff that we wanted to talk about. So now here on our 81st episode, we're talking about stuff that we don't want to talk about. And so we're talking about musicals, which is definitely not my favorite genre of topic of movie. I don't know how far down the list it is for you, Paulo. Um, I don't remember why we're doing this episode, but we're here. We're talking about musicals.
To be
And
fair, I do like musicals in general. I thought this would be a little more enjoyable than it turned out to be, but um, sorry, continue.
Joining us are some returning guests, Martin and Bernice, who have joined us for a few episodes in the past, most recently with Joker 2, which was a musical of its own, which is probably how we got into this topic of doing this one. So welcome back and thanks for joining.
Thank
Thank
Uh,
you.
you. Hello.
Glad to be back.
And specifically for this episode, we're going to be talking about two recent musicals, two Oscar-winning musicals, I believe, which is Wicked and Emilia Perez. I don't think it matters if they're Oscar nominated. I think I was going to hate these no matter what. But we'll get into that. Before we do, I want to just ask you guys about whether you even like musicals in the first place, and specifically, what are your top three musicals? So while I give you another second to think about that, I'll just kind of mention my own. Number one for me is a very traditional musical, recent one, La La Land. I just thought it happened to be a good movie that also had some singing that a couple of the songs I liked, but like for the most part, the singing did not distract from it being a good story, and I think that's why I liked it. Well acted, good story throughout. Number two would be Dancer in the Dark, which is a Lars von Trier musical, which ends with the lead singer getting, or the lead character getting hanged. It's a very dark, very twisted one, as if you know anything about Lars von Trier, it's very much that type of musical. But I also thought it was a good story. And then number three, which is a movie I keep recommending over and over again, is Tokyo Tribe, which is a battle rap musical starring one of my favorite Japanese directors, and it's basically the entire thing is people rapping while fighting like ninjas. It's terrible, but also slightly humorous and actually fits in as a musical. So that's my number three. No Disney movies, and I think we said we're going to limit the amount of Disneys that we put on these list. So that's my three. How about I turn it over to Bernice? What are your top three musicals? And I guess I'll mention stage musicals allowed, doesn't have to be movies. What do you like?
Okay, that's good. I think just to intro, I'm not the biggest fan of musicals, I think, or I don't have the biggest knowledge on musicals because I was trying to search what counts as a musical just before the show, and I realized there's a ton that I'd never heard of. But my top three, which I've watched multiple times, actually, Phantom of the Opera is really one of my favorites. The second one would be Les Mis, and the third one is also La La Land. And I think I like these ones because first and foremost, for me to like a musical, I have to like the songs. And for all of these musicals, I love them. Like I could replay the soundtrack over and over. So for the rest, if I didn't like them, that means I didn't like the music. The end.
When you say Les Mis, do you mean specifically like the most recent, like Anne Hathaway, Hugh Jackman one, or just in general?
No, the stage version. I think
Okay.
I've seen the stage versions for these. So the Phantom one, I did see the 25th anniversary recording that they did. That was excellent. I think that it was basically the same. But for Les Mis, there's a stark difference between the Anne Hathaway version and the stage version. I much prefer the stage version. But if I were to pick, let's say, Emilia Perez versus Les Mis of movie version, I would still pick the Les Mis one.
Does that, just out of curiosity, does the choice of Les Mis have anything to do with Lea Salonga being in it? Because I know, like, especially back in the day, so she's Filipino. Context, we're all Filipino except for Carson, obviously. And like it was a huge deal for my parents and my sister. Like my sister is like a singer, or like did singing and musical theater back in the day. So like seeing Lea Salonga in Les Mis was like like I said, huge. And I know it was a thing for a lot of Filipino people. I was just curious if it was the same for you guys.
Actually, no. I think my school back in the Philippines, and when I was in grade school, they did some sort of rendition of the songs on stage for this. And I thought even as a young kid, the songs were very catchy. But since then, I watched so the movie, which was less impactful, but when I really liked it the most was when I saw it live um, in London, and I was by myself. Like when I watched this, it was a matinee show, and I was deeply moved by the by the show, and I literally cried by myself in my seat. And since then I was like, I love
Oh,
Les Mis. It was so moving.
I've never seen
nice.
any stage musicals, but Les Mis was my number four movie musical. I don't usually like them, but I thought like that one with a few years ago with Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway and Russell Crowe was quite good.
Yeah.
Martin, how about yourself?
Yeah. Okay, for me, I unlike most people here, I actually do enjoy musicals for whatever reason. I can't really explain why I do. I just yeah, I think when you can execute because I think I was introduced to musicals through movies first because growing up, like my family never really watched like stage plays, so the introduction to musicals is really movies, and I just thought it was an interesting dynamic to like combine like singing and music with like an actual story plot. So I think generally I do enjoy musicals if they're executed well, and generally for me, like if a musical has good music, for me it will actually carry sort of like the plot. So even if the plot is really bad or something's like very very cringe, if I really like the music, I'll sort of like whatever. I'll throw out the bad stuff and I'll only focus on the good things, which is the music. So I'm perfectly okay with cringy stuff as long as I like the songs. And for me, my top three, number one, because of my parents, like sort of introducing it to me when I was very young, Sound of Music. Both the movie and then I think I watched the play once when I was at some point in Toronto. Absolutely loved it. It's yeah, I think by far my favorite music of all time. Number two, I would probably say Phantom of the Opera, like Bernice. I was first introduced to it through the movie version with is it Russell? No, it's Gerard Butler, right?
No,
The
Russell
the
Crowe.
fan, Russell Crowe. It's Russell Crowe. And then I and
Oh
then
wait,
and then
sorry,
so I
Phantom.
was Phantom of the Opera, the movie. I always get them confused. Both these guys, I forget who's the one because they both can sing technically.
I tried Googling it and I was getting Phantom Menace. Um, it is Gerard Butler. Sorry, you were
Gerard
right.
Butler. Yeah, Gerard Butler. And then I went to watch the play in person. I think for the first time in Vegas. I went to watch Phantom of the Opera like on stage, and it blew my mind. It was so good. So that's number two, and then number three, much like everyone else, La La Land. I I think it's a really well executed modern musical, like good story. The music blends in well. It doesn't feel too like out of place. Even the dancing was quite good. I really liked the dancing. And then I read this quote recently somewhere online. I think it was on Instagram or something, where like Christopher Nolan said that like one of his favorite films is like La La Land. Like he's watched it three or four times, and much like most people here, he doesn't really like musicals, but it's like the one film that sort of sticks out because I guess they do it well, the music and the choreography and the plot and the acting, etc. So it's rare I think when everything meshes together so well, but I think La La Land is yeah easily a top three for me. Um, and then we'll keep the list at that. Yeah.
Before I forget, my wife made sure she wanted me to mention that Sound of Music is also her favorite musical, and she was
Yeah.
very upset
The
when
hills
I
are
told her
alive.
that I hadn't seen it. She stopped listening to our episodes a long time ago, so she's probably not going to know if I mentioned it or not. But anyway,
Yeah.
I mentioned it. But yeah, I would definitely agree. La La Land, like very accessible for non-musical fans. I felt it was
Mhm.
one of the few movies where I I I, I like the idea of a musical where you can't properly express someone's emotion and so they do it through song, and I feel like La La Land is one of those times where they're not just trying to tell story through song and put music in and put a little story around it. It's like they're really trying to express the emotion. Like there's the interview song that she does and there's a few key ones, so I felt that was the appropriate use of musicals with the exception of the opening number, which I hated, but once you get into the movie it was pretty good. Paulo, how about yourself?
It's kind of embarrassing because I haven't seen La La Land, even though I want to. And I keep saying that I like enjoy musicals, but I mean, it has to do more with like the history of my family and just my sister being so involved in musical theater. So, um, by the way, I noticed a lot of foreshadowing in everyone's answers, which is really, really funny when we get to talking about Wicked and Emilia Perez. But yeah, my top three. So we were only allowed to pick one Disney movie. So I picked Lion King. Because I mean, it's a pretty standard, like obvious answer, but it's just it was between that and Mulan. So I give Mulan an honorable mention just because I personally enjoy that one a whole lot, no matter like what at what point of my life it was. But Lion King, it edges Mulan just because, um, I mean, it's a classic. First and foremost, obviously, you got the stage and the movie version, not counting the live action because that's just weird. I mean, live action, it's CGI animals, but yeah, it's always been good. And it's actually funny seeing my daughter start to get obsessed with Lion King now, like the original one, as she's growing up. And like there was a stretch of like a month or two where she would watch it every day, or at least the very first song up until just can't wait to be king. And she still says like Hakuna Matata, or she tries to out of nowhere. So Lion King. Number two is Little Shop of Horrors because it's really weird. It's about a giant plant that eats people. Um, and my sister also was in that in high school. And it's just like by the plot, it's something that's right up my alley. It's like a plant, a giant plant or it's an alien plant that it's owned by like a really timid dentist, and he's in love with this girl. It's like a love story, and then the plant gets in the way, and then in the end, spoiler alert, the plant takes over the world. And then the third one is I mean, it could have been interchangeable with a lot of things, but Grease. Again, going back to like spending time with my sister growing up, we'd be at home a lot, and we had Grease on VHS, and that would be one that would continually watch for some reason. Um, so yeah, those are mine.
Great. Well, thank you for that quick introduction to your musical background. I think I already learned more about you guys on this topic than I thought. So let's jump into our two movies, and I'm going to start with Wicked because I think we'll have a little bit more to say about that one. Obviously, been a lot of hype around this movie. There was the whole. I think it came out. What movie did it come out with? Gladiator 2. I think people were calling it like Glickit or something because they were trying to do the Barbenheimer thing. Anyway, we haven't talked a whole lot. You guys have kind of hinted at what you feel about it, but I'll maybe just throw it out to you guys of general impressions, yes, no, liked it, didn't like it. We'll start there.
I mean,
Liked it.
I'll oh,
That's just
okay,
bad.
go
Liked it.
Bernice,
No,
go.
go ahead.
Liked it?
Am I going?
Uh,
Go.
that's
No,
right.
go ahead.
I just heard liked it. Are you leaving it at that?
Which one? Which one did you like?
We're talking about Wicked
fine.
first.
Oh, Wicked.
Wicked.
Okay, yeah, okay. Liked it for me.
Liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, not as much like as I think the general consensus was. It sounded like there was a lot of hype and love around it. But I didn't love it that much, but it was good.
And I would say I will be in the didn't like it corner for this conversation. I respected parts of it. There were parts of it that were well done, but generally did not care for the music. The story and the characters and the acting were decent. It was just like nothing about this being a musical made it better to me. It's like it was a decent movie with a lot of annoying songs in the middle. So that's my impression.
Yeah, for me, I think I liked it because I'm comparing it to the stage version, which, by the way, if you have any listeners that are diehard Wicked fans, I might get crucified because I was not a fan at all of the Wicked on stage Broadway version. We watched it once and then I completely forgot about it. It's just like something I watched once and then I got over it. I don't remember the plot. I didn't like the original singers, which again is I think a big claim because they're extremely talented. What's their
You're
name?
referring to Idina Menzel?
Yes.
Because
They're
I was going to say
extremely
one
talented.
one
I know.
comment from my side is I listen to Idina Menzel probably every day in my household for the last 8 months because of the Frozen soundtrack. So I was extremely familiar with her voice and when she popped up in the movie.
Yeah, like I'm just not a fan of their voices singing. So when this Wicked version came out with Ariana Grande and oh God, what's her name?
Cynthia
Someone.
Erivo.
Cynthia, yeah.
Cynthia. To me, it was really refreshing. Like because I was comparing it to the previous version, it made the movie so much more immersive. Also because I could see the detail, it was closer than the stage. I think Ariana Grande casted as Glinda was perfect. I really liked her there. I liked her even before because of SNL, to be honest, not from Ariana Grande, the pop star, but from SNL. I know she's talented, but yeah, I think the movie made me like the songs more. But is it my favorite musical of all time? It still did not make top three.
It kind of makes sense to me, like when you say about the stage version. So it's Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, um,
Mm-hmm.
versus like Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Like I know it's probably an unpopular opinion for like super musical fans, but um, it does make it a lot more accessible. Aside from the fact that Ariana Grande is Ariana Grande, because when you think about like the singing or the performances in musicals, like the stage versions, it's very like it's different. Like they're it's very big and like
Mhm.
they have to project and just
Mhm.
it's I don't know how else to put it, but I get it sounds like you know what I'm saying. At least Martin does. And whereas like with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande in the movie, like you can be a little more like there's a lot more flexibility there. Number one, because it's a movie, there's editing, but also like their voices and the way that they perform is more like I want to say poppy, but not exactly that. Maybe Ariana Grande more so than Cynthia Erivo, but it's a lot more modern, um, or it feels a lot more modern. Modern.
I was surprised at how much I liked their acting for both of them. Like, I don't know anything about Cynthia Erivo, and I know
Really?
very little about Ariana Grande, but like, I feel like Ariana Grande did pretty well in what was a pretty complex character. Because I didn't know anything about the story before going into it, and so knowing that she was going to be played as kind of a not flattering version of Glinda, I was like, oh, that's new, that's unexpected. And I thought she did a good job of like, you know, riding that line a little bit. Although her transition into being a good character in the second half of the movie kind of comes out of nowhere. So that was a little bit clunky to me, but like in general, like both of them did a really good job acting wise.
Martin.
My take. My
He
take.
loves it. He's trying to collect his thoughts because he loves it.
Yeah, I actually did love it. Like not not necessarily because of the acting. I think I just like the the versions of each song for the movie for whatever reason was really catchy because I did watch the musical when I was younger, and we even had a lot of friends back in the day that were also like obsessed with the musical, and they would always sing those songs. But for some reason, it never like really caught on to me, and I didn't really care much. Maybe the only song I knew was like "Defying Gravity," and even then, I forgot like most of it. But then after listening to the movie, like I don't know what it was, but the songs were like super super catchy for me. And if the songs are catchy, like I said, I'll gloss over like the cringy acting or random choreography or whatever, just because I like the music. And for me to really like a song, it has to feel very immersive in a way that like it sort of like takes you away from reality and sort of puts you in the universe of whatever that song is. So you feel like you're in the song itself. And there's a lot of songs outside of musicals that make me feel this way. And I felt that Wicked has like the at least of the versions in the movies makes you sort of feel that. At least for me, it makes me feel that way. So found the songs really catchy. Even after watching the film, like I went immediately to Spotify and like started listening to the fucking soundtrack. Absolutely loved it. And I swear to God, if Spotify Wrapped, if Spotify Wrapped stopped, like it collected your music between January to March, it would be like top 10 would probably be like 6 or 7 songs from the musical because I was constantly listening to it. I was so like hooked, and like it just, for whatever reason, they just did a really good job, like making me feel like I'm part of the universe, both the songs and even like the way that the movie was filmed, even with like CGI and stuff. But thought it was really well done. Really enjoyed it, and enjoyed it so much, and I'm like looking super forward to part 2. I was a bit skeptical actually about like Ariana being the lead singer for the movie, and there was so much hype about the movie even before I watched it that I was already coming into it like thinking like there's no way it's going to be that good because I didn't like the musical version. But honestly, I was like surprised, and I really actually did like watching it.
Do you have a favorite song from the soundtrack?
Yes.
Popular.
Let me pull it up my fucking.
While
Like
you're
what
pulling
Owen
that
just
up,
hears on the other side of the
Yeah.
apartment every day.
I know almost every song by heart, but if I had to pick one, okay, Define Gravity is of course going to be good. I really like their version of it compared to the musical version, but I like Sentimental Man it's by Jeff Goldblum. It's when he sings at the
Oh.
very end, like when he's talking about like he wants to feel like he's always wanted to feel like a parent, like a father figure. So I thought that was a really cute song. I actually really like that song.
Yeah, the Defying Gravity. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys before, but like I heard that song before I even knew
Yeah, exactly.
like about Wicked, and before I saw it, and I didn't even know it was related. I just thought it was an amazing song. Like but going against what you said, Martin, about the other songs, like I actually don't even really remember any of the other ones. Like I'm sure they were good, but like they kind of just like washed over, and then Defying Gravity, that's it. Like that's all I remember.
when we did our monthly Instagram post, you did a post about Wicked, and you specifically called out Defying Gravity. And I know nothing about any of the soundtrack, so I was watching the movie kind of waiting for this song to come up, and it's at the very end of the movie. And I had expectations that it would be good, and when I got there, I was like, it kind of felt like the most lame part of the movie, so I was very
You
let
didn't like
down.
the song? Wait, was it the song though, or like what was happening at the time? Because I would understand that.
It's a little bit of both, because one, the fact that they kept cutting out the song, like it's like they were singing and then they would break and have an action scene and then have a song. It's like I feel like it would be better as one continuous song. And then the scene itself was way over melodramatic that it's like I get what's happening, we're there, but it's like it kept going on for like 10 minutes, and it's like, okay, let's wrap this thing up. So it's like it's probably more to do with how it fits into the movie and how it was executed than the song itself.
I think there's probably also an element of like, okay, I've been watching this musical for 2 hours now, like I'm ready to be finished. Specifically Carson.
There was a little bit of that as well, yes.
I mean, yeah, I understand, like especially the ending being a little drawn out. But I just that song is undeniable, I feel like.
It's inevitable.
Like I have opposing feelings for that. Like I did not like the song beforehand. It's so overplayed for me. The melody was not that catchy for me, but I only cared about it like when I saw it in this version, because I think it put a lot more weight to the song, seeing what Elphaba went through. Like it made sense as to why she sang that, and it was just a little bit more impactful for me the moment that song came on. But I was expecting that song to come on because everyone was really just singing this nonstop leading up to this musical, so I was expecting it would come on. But when it did, I don't know. I think it was very effective for me. Like it matched the whole. She was standing up for herself, and I'm a sucker for that kind of storyline where, she's going against the whole world, basically going against society. And I see why she finally said that or sang that for 10 minutes. But at the end, I liked it. I might have teared up a little bit, and I wasn't even a fan of the.
You're tearing up now.
You're crying. You cried.
I cried. No, I cried. I did cry. I really like the underdog kind of story.
Yeah. I get you.
On the how much on the cry level were you and Bernice at, Martin?
I didn't cry, but I like but if I see someone cry, like for example Bernice, it makes me feel like I want to cry, but I still didn't. So I was close. I was on the edge.
Okay.
But yeah, but Bernice, it was more like she started tearing up, not like full blown like hysterical crying, but yeah,
Okay.
definitely tearing up.
But I
Carson,
also
what
cried
about
at
you?
the dancing part.
Oh,
was
like
crying
in the
pain.
club?
What about the
I
dance?
I came close in that one too.
Oh really? No way.
I don't know why. I don't know why it was that one. Why it was that part.
As someone who had no background of the movie, exiting the movie, if you were to ask me like what songs I thought would have been the most popular, it would have been that one from the dance club, and then the one where they're about to go to the dance club and they're like dancing in the library. I would have guessed that those would have been like the most popular. Would not have expected Defying Gravity unless you had mentioned it.
Dancing Through Life. I like Popular, actually.
Is that the
Dancing
library
Through
one,
Life.
or is that what scene is that?
It was really
No.
popular. It was just, it was just Ariana
no, it's the
Grande
one.
and Elphaba
No,
in the room.
popular was when she was giving Cynthia the black hat or whatever. And she was and then there was like
it's
I'm
the
gonna
one where
teach you how
they're
to be
gonna be
popular.
friends now.
What? I mean,
Um,
I think
right?
it's whoopsies.
It's been like 3-4 months now since I watched it, so I don't remember. But I swear it was that.
I thought it's
Yeah.
when they became friends. It was after the club part.
Maybe I'm misremembering, but maybe it was played at both times. I also watched this on the flight coming home from Paris, so I some of the details could be a little fuzzy. I was very tired.
Yeah, I just liked it because Ariana Grande was so charming in that sequence when she was being so quirky, like dancing on the floor, like doing this. How can I describe this?
Was it
Whatever, this move.
the
She was just
Elphaba
funny.
dance?
I don't know. She was like swimming on the floor. And I thought she was perfect. That's when I was like, okay, Ariana Grande is like
She
perfect
did
for
you well.
this,
Yeah.
this role.
That's a
Yeah.
good word for it. I thought she was charming. Yeah.
She
I
did.
think
She
she did
was
good.
towing the line throughout the movie for me of being like a little too much. She'll be like,
Mm.
"Oh, did it?" Like I can't even do it. But like
But I thought that
playing
was
that.
good in the first half of the movie. That's good because she's like overplaying it, kind of like making herself look
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like she was doing it too much to the point where it was just like everything was just one note for her, and then eventually, like, it evened out a little bit, which I guess is part of her character, which is good. But I remember at the beginning when I think when they were all arriving and she's first introduced, I was like, oh no, is this what it's gonna be? Like, I was worried a little bit, but then it picked up. And also every time they said the name of the school, like I think Shiz, it like made me angry.
I'm gonna roll my eyes on that one.
Yeah. It's like, why would you? Yeah. I didn't like the name of the school. It's weird.
Yeah. And when they would like change words, I get they're like munchkins and they talk like like whimsical people.
Yeah.
Like I can't even make one up.
Yeah.
But like
Martin, you know this.
Frick. Yeah, we just listened to. So we're driving home from Normandy, and we actually played the whole soundtrack on the way home. But I don't. Yeah, they say it a lot. They just like slightly twist an English word.
So much delightful ability, or like
Yeah.
That was like making my blood boil.
Oh, degreenify you. That was in the song.
That was not as bad. That one made a little more sense because of Alphaba, but
yeah. Anyways.
But yeah. How else, or what did everyone think of the animal rights side plot?
Kind of came out of nowhere because I feel like they didn't really address it. Like the way that they were setting it up kind of felt like that's what it was going to lead up to, which it kind of did. But I feel like at this point it needs to be a central part of the second movie because otherwise, like, what was the point?
There has to be like a huge civil war.
Yeah, is that not going to be like part 2? Like the dilemma here is that there's a large population of what's this world called?
Oz.
Oz, where they can't speak, and Alphaba is like I know it's the wizard, so I feel like that's going to be central to the plot in part 2.
And I don't like. It's been a very long time since I've watched The Wizard of Oz, but other than the Cowardly Lion, are there any talking animals? I guess the monkeys too. in the Wizard of Oz. I can't.
But they
remember.
don't talk.
They don't talk.
The
The
monkeys
goat.
don't talk. No.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
In
In
the
this
Wizard
movie,
of
I'm
Oz,
just
though.
wondering, like, the actual Wizard of Oz, and I know
Original
different
Wizard of
stories.
Uh,
No idea.
don't remember.
Yeah, it's just the lion, really. Speaking of, like, what is with the obsession of like every modern Wizard of Oz related movie that to make it like that Oz is like horrible and like it's make Oz dark, like the dark side to Oz. Like because there's like the Oz the Great and Powerful, I think is the one with James Franco.
Haven't watched it.
And then Wicked, and I think there's another one, but it's always like this kind of like theme.
Is the original material maybe based on that? Like in the original material, Oz is like a bad or evil place. I don't know. I don't know.
Like original Wizard of Oz material?
Yeah, exactly. Like the
I don't
Because the original, the movie was made in 1939, but it was based off of a book made like 40 years before that. So I have a feeling like the original book was probably a lot darker than the movie. Like the movie was the lighthearted version of it. So yeah, probably like he is an actual like straight up villain in the book.
True. I mean the only like I remember there was an urban legend like for the original Wizard of Oz. Did you hear about like one of the Munchkins like extras apparently had hung himself on set?
What?
And then he
Really?
could be seen in the background like in one of the shots. I don't know.
No way.
I've heard that,
That
rumor
was,
as
like-
well. There's like so many
Yeah.
rumors coming from that set.
Yeah, it was a story. Well, there's other. Yeah, I mean, especially I'm more so to do with like showbiz at that time. And what's her name? What was Dorothy's actress's name?
I don't even remember.
Or just any actress in that time period, I guess.
Dorothy actress. Judy Garland.
Judy Garland. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Judy Garland.
But then going like fast forwarding to now to Wicked and the current Oz. Did any of you know that it was going to be Jeff Goldblum coming in? I'm assuming, Carson, you didn't.
I did know. It was all over the press.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, I knew he'd be the wizard.
Oh,
Didn't
okay.
they show like somewhat of a statue in the beginning of the movie?
Yeah,
There was
but
like
it
a
was like
stone thing.
like a bronze statue where you couldn't really tell it was him unless you knew.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I guess I was the only one that was surprised by that.
Guy.
I mean, it was
What's
a
this guy
nice
doing here?
surprise.
It was something
But then
that I
when he
didn't
showed
remember
up-
until like halfway through the movie because they mentioned meeting the wizard, and I was like, "Oh right, Jeff Goldblum's the wizard." Like I didn't go in
I
from the
forgot
first
about
scene.
it. Yeah. No.
He's basically playing what's his name in Thor, the love Ragnarok, playing
Yeah.
the same role.
Really? I don't even remember Ragnarok.
He's just like over like ruling
I mean,
over
Both of
the-
them are just Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
Jeff Goldblum,
yeah.
yeah.
Which was like it was perfect though. Like I
Yeah.
really liked it. I mean, as soon as I heard his voice, even through like the machinery, I was like, oh, okay, that's Jeff. It's gonna be Jeff Goldblum. And then he always turns out to be like a quirky bad guy.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Quirky bad guy.
But, yeah, I mean, what rating would you give Wicked? Just out of curiosity, because I know I've given mine, but
It's like somewhere in the 50s for me,
50s, damn.
which is still like top 10 of the musicals I've watched all time. So
yeah. I'm not gonna complain about that. That's pretty good. For me, it'd be maybe 7.7. I'll give it 7.7. Yeah.
Yeah, same. I'd be like 7.5. 7 to 7.5 for me.
Okay.
One of the other questions I had for those who have actually seen the musical, like, how did the actual story, not the music, but how did the story differ from the musical versus what they actually did? Or is it like pretty spot on?
We don't remember.
Yeah. The thing, it
Like,
wasn't
this was
memorable for me.
Yeah, it wasn't memorable because I don't think it wasn't this long for sure. Like it wasn't 2 parts, 2 to 3 hours each. So they didn't really go in depth, in my opinion, right? Or are we wrong? Because I really wasn't as immersed as this one.
Yeah.
I was just there in the audience,
I
waiting
would
for
agree.
it to.
And I think that's one of the like the strengths of doing a film version, if you do it right, is that you can really take the audience into the universe more deeply than you can with like a Broadway musical. Not saying that you can't, but
Mhm.
obviously you have more liberties and you have more freedom to explore with like CGI especially, right? So yeah, I honestly don't remember exactly how the plot went in the musical, but I was fully invested in the plot, at least how they did it in the movie version. And yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to part two.
So, Carson, I think you mentioned that you read the novel, right?
I
Of
definitely did
Wicked.
not read the
Oh,
novel. I
yeah.
read a synopsis of the novel
Oh.
online.
Okay, but you know what happens.
I read through what happens basically in the version that they told in Wicked, but also in the events afterwards, yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I was curious if you knew what the difference was between the actual novel version and the movie version.
I'll be slightly hesitant to say that just because I don't know how much of it is going to go into the second half. But the impression I got was that it was a much darker story. Like there are legitimate terrorist organizations. There's like stories of like a coup and stuff like that. So it does feel like they made it much more lighthearted. It follows like the same general story, but I have a feeling like all the goofiness and sorry, one of the other things I was going to say about Wicked is it kind of feels like a knockoff Harry Potter with the whole like wizards at school
Mm.
thing. So it does feel
Yeah.
like aimed at a younger audience, which my impression of the book, based on Wikipedia's synopsis of the book, feels like a much more adult-based novel.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I definitely felt that too with the Harry Potter thing. Like, who's that? Michelle Yeoh,
Mm-hmm.
who I also hated her name. It was like, what was her name again? Her character's name?
Yeah.
Madame Morrible.
Oh,
Oh
Jesus.
yeah.
So dumb. Um, yeah, like with her, like choosing to take on a student, uh, like one student to teach magic. That was very, it was a little, I guess, obvious to
I,
me.
I was happy for her cashing in, getting that paycheck after winning an Oscar, so good for her.
Mm.
Who, Michelle Yeoh?
Yeah.
Yeah. um, but yeah, I mean, going back to like the dark side of the things, it definitely felt a little glossed over. And like you mentioned before, Carson, like it came out of left field with the hate crimes against the animals, um, and and then it kind of just went away. Like I know it was kind of supposed to be the driving factor between separating Glinda and uh,
Alphaba.
Alphaba.
Elphaba, yeah. But it was like it started things and then it just kind of like faded away and it became about like it went back to Glinda wanting to do magic more. And then also I thought on top of that it was like the prince that they were gonna fight over, and I was really hoping that wasn't gonna be a lot like more to the story, because that would have also made me lose interest quite a bit if
He
it was going to
seems
be like
like
a love
much more
triangle
of a
type.
scumbag in the
Try.
novels. Um,
Oh
so
yeah.
they made him like sort of scummy in this one, but like with a
Yeah.
heart of gold type guy. But it sounds like he's like
Yeah.
borderline
Mhm.
irredeemable in the novel.
That's an interesting change.
Also, did not know that he was in the new Jurassic World movie, and apparently he's in Bridgerton or something like that. Apparently he's like a famous person.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's what
It,
Bridgerton.
is he the guy in Jurassic World with the glasses who's like a
He's the
nerdy
glasses
doctor
sciences
guy?
guy, and he also, I think I saw an article like he played clarinet to do the soundtrack of Jurassic World as well.
Wait, what?
Just yeah.
Anyways.
Cool guy.
Okay, interesting. Um, any more thoughts on Wicked? I'm trying to draw this out.
So maybe I'll ask the question because I might know some future things that happen. What are you guys hoping for in the second movie, Wicked for Good, that comes out?
Oh, that's what it's called. Wicked for Good.
Wicked for Good.
It's not Wicked 2. Too Fast 2.
No,
Too fast, too wicked.
Too Wicked.
I think they made a rule that you can't use numbers in sequels anymore. Nothing is called like something
Oh, yeah.
2 anymore. It has like a title.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Wicked for Good.
I
Oh,
feel
because
like
they didn't do that song. They didn't do that song in part 1 for Good. That's like a famous song from the musical. Now I remember. I remember that song.
I guess you've indirectly answered why it wasn't included in the movie because you just remembered it now.
Okay, my thoughts. I still don't know what's gonna happen, but I think it's gonna revolve around, like, how can I put it? Like Alphabet, of course, taking sort of like the bad path, let's say, and Glinda's supposed to be like the good character, but I think it's sort of like that duality sort of conversation where, like in fact it could be reverse. Like Alphabet's actually like underlying, she has good intentions, she has good motivations, and it's sort of like certain decisions or certain things that happen in her life that's forced her to take, let's say, the bad path in terms of how society views her. And I think it will conclude with this song called For Good, which is like about, like, what's it about? It's about like appreciating someone, like good or bad, like the relationship, etc. So I think ultimately the movie's going to end with sort of like this feeling that, like, Alphabet was actually a good person, and just that she made maybe the wrong decisions or whatever, but she had good intentions, and she's not actually evil, right? Despite what people might think of her. I think it's going to end up with that kind of feeling for sure.
Why
do
is
you
it
think
bad to stick up for animal rights, Martin?
I don't know. Ask.
Do you think animals should just stop talking?
Here's a
Absolutely
question.
not.
Do you think she's gonna go full evil, like screaming, I'll get you my pretty, and your little dog too," which is weird that she's shouting about a little
Yeah,
dog.
I don't know if she'll go to that level.
Thanks.
To be honest, you think she'll
She's gonna go full Daenerys, like
She'll go full
maybe.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Actually, I think like she's good all throughout. It's just her being bad is the wizard's propaganda.
Yeah.
I feel
So
like
it'll be like a retelling of the events of the Wizard of Oz, where it's like you understand her perspective a little more.
yeah,
She's not actually
probably.
bad. Yeah, but it's like
And
it's made to look like she is bad.
yeah, and I even feel like, to me, I even questioned when I saw the relationship, Glinda and Elphaba. I even questioned if she was really dead or if Glinda really killed
Right.
Elphaba,
Yeah.
because if they were really best friends at some point, I don't see Glinda being able to do that at the end. Like, if anything, she was the only one who reported Elphaba being dead. This could have easily been like an escape.
She ran
or
away.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm hoping that's the plot. But yeah, I don't think Elphaba is actually gonna go into a bad path, in my opinion. If she does, it's just what the wizard wants everyone to hear.
So here's another question. In terms of all movies and prequels for villains where they try to humanize the villain. So I'm thinking about like Darth Vader and the prequels, they try to make him like, hey, here's how they became evil. It always feels like it's a bit of a gap when you try to make someone human who is basically like a cartoonish monster. How well do you think they did this in this version? / like, what do you think are really good examples of that, if any? Because I struggled to find any good examples where you tell a prequel for a villain.
I mean, I think this one was a very good example. Like, the reasoning maybe with the whole animal side plot was strange, but just the fact, like, even if it was just her being green, her taking shit for her whole life, and like having a sister, being unwanted, and like being a child of infidelity, that which was a surprising concept to see in this movie. But yeah, just like even that I would understand enough, I think. I mean, it wouldn't turn her into like a complete murderer, but I don't think she ever really was to begin with. Like,
Yeah.
what did she do that was bad in the in the Wizard of Oz?
The Wizard. But that's the
There
thing.
were no
I think,
signs.
yeah, in the Wizard of Oz, she's just made to be like, oh, it's just the Wicked Witch of the West, and you don't know like that she's bad, but
Yeah,
the story just makes it seem you don't really understand the reason why she's bad. She's just a witch, and even
yeah,
the
and she's
word
green.
itself implies, yeah, the word itself implies something negative. But like you, Paul, I also agree that I think they did a good job. At least for me, I was actually on the side of Alphaba the entire movie, which already sort of paints the story to me that after all, she's not actually like an evil like person, but like you said, Bernice, it's like the whole propaganda or the way that the story unfolds, it makes it seem like she's actually bad. So I do like that sort of like duality of the character.
Yeah, and I
I
mean,
mean, oh, sorry, go ahead.
finding out that she got the typical stereotype witch hat, it was just
Yeah.
from Glenda's
From
grandmother. It's like, so she's really not a witch. It's really just everyone else saying she's a witch. She's not even a witch.
Actually, I didn't even make that connection. That's a good point. Like it literally was just everything that was created.
Yeah.
It's like propaganda, like you said, just around from the people around her and from the wizard. And also in the Wizard of Oz, she's really only mad because Dorothy technically killed her sister. So
Fair.
that, I mean, it's not really unfair. Like, it's not unreasonable to be to be upset. I think she has a temper. That's all. That's really her only sin.
Mhm.
But I can't think of any other movies, any prequels. I think there's a Lion King one, right, where it tells Scar's story, but I haven't seen that. So
the one we just talked about in the last episode together, Joker.
oh yeah, well
That was sort of like a way to humanize like where he came from and how he sort of ended up the way he was. No.
the first Joker though, not the second one.
Yeah, not the second one. The first one where
Oh, but then he wasn't actually the Joker though.
Exactly.
Right?
true,
It was a
right,
psychopath.
right.
Yeah.
So that one has to be disqualified, which is unfortunate for this conversation.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of someone else.
I'm assuming no one else has seen the second Lion King movie.
I would have watched it back in the day.
Okay. No, it was like a live action one. No, sorry, I keep saying live action. You know what I mean. CGI action.
Oh, the most recent Mufasa one?
Yeah. Or, okay, maybe it's not about Scar. Or it is. It's called Mufasa, but about both of them.
No, I never watched it.
Okay.
Wait, how about Marvel? What's the purple guy's name?
Thanos?
Yeah, Thanos. Just
Did they
he's-
have a backstory?
he just loved the earth.
I don't know if there was no prequel to humanize him though.
I think that's an example of like motivations that you can kind of agree with, not necessarily a prequel that humanizes him. I mean, I'm like whenever I say prequel, I just think of Star Wars, and then my brain ends there.
It's probably the best one, to be honest. Darth Vader.
What other prequels?
I did a quick
exist?
Google search and they mentioned the most recent Cruella movie with Emma Stone, so
I never
it's
watched it.
probably
though.
not a lot
I haven't
of
watched
great ones.
Yeah.
I didn't. Did anyone
like-
here? Did Carson? Did you watch that one?
I did watch it. I did not like it at all. But
I was like, did they have a prequel on Voldemort? But they didn't.
No.
Oh, like Oz the Great and Powerful, like I mentioned, I think James Franco wasn't bad, or like Oz, I don't remember. I think I fell asleep.
I actually did like parts of that movie. I think like the second half of it, if I remember it correctly, was kind of boring and like went on for a bit. But like I liked the idea of he seemed like a good-hearted person, and you could understand like how you could get from there to like here to there, which is my issue with Elphaba in this movie, which is like she's a good character, but where she is in this movie versus where she ends up going as like cartoonish villain later in Wizard of Oz is like two completely different characters. And same with like Hayden Christensen's version of Anakin and then Darth Vader. It's like they don't feel like the same character.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not. Maybe she just got old and her sister died. Like she couldn't deal with it, and she's been taking shit her whole life, and she has to listen to these stupid ass munchkins like make up words. I would go crazy too. It's, I get it. I understand. I'm fully on board with Alpha Buff.
Turning evil.
All right.
She's
any
like the
last,
Malcolm X for the animals.
Any last thoughts on Wicked before we move on to our second movie?
Anyone want to sing a song?
Oh, Magneto. How about Magneto? Sorry.
I never watched the sequel.
Huh? No, like
I mean the prequel. Sorry, I never watched
Yeah.
the prequel.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
I'll be on board with that, even though Magneto's kind of like a pretty sympathetic villain to start with. But yeah, Fassbender did a good job.
True. You don't get more sympathetic than concentration camp survivor.
Oh wow,
Oh,
really?
that's his backstory.
I want to watch that then.
Yeah, like all the X-Men movies. I mean, I would, watch them.
That one.
It's a small part of them. If you're planning to watch because of that, but
I watched X-Men, the prequel.
Yeah.
Magneto.
Okay. Yeah. I guess we have to move on to Emilia Perez, and I'd like to apologize again. Although I think Carson might have enjoyed it more than we thought.
Let's not say enjoy, but I had very, very low expectations for this one because I basically just knew it as that Selena Gomez movie. I didn't even know that Zoe Saldana was in it until she won an Oscar for it. And so I know very little about it. And if somebody had told me that this was Cartel Mrs. Doubtfire, I would have been much more interested from the beginning.
Yo.
Because the story itself is interesting. I don't like any of the music. None of the music made it better. It only made it worse.
Completely agreed.
The story is interesting, and I also didn't know it's from a French director who I actually like quite a bit of his other stuff from. He did a bunch of indie movies that never got a lot of recognition. A Prophet and Deepan, and I think there was one more that I can't remember. But I remember watching those at TIFF festivals. So festival type movies, not widely known. But anyway, I like his type of stuff. And so he's done kind of different things every time. And now this one, again, I don't want to oversell how much I liked it. I would say there were things about it that was interesting because I did not expect the movie to be about that. So I enjoyed it slightly more than I thought I would. Now, how come you guys didn't like it?
Actually, I have the same sentiment as Carson. I knew nothing about it. I tried to get Martin to watch it before because I kept hearing about it for the Oscars, and he was just blatantly no. It's the worst ever. So I didn't even know any of the actors. I didn't know Selena Gomez was gonna be on there. I really knew nothing. So the bar was set pretty damn low when we watched it last night. But yeah, I actually thought the storyline was interesting. That twist with the cartel leader wanting to be a woman, I did not see that coming. But it was really just the music that came out of nowhere that I disliked a lot. But aside from that, it was not the worst, really.
I mean, I would take a step back from saying that the story was good, and I think it's more so the concept. Yeah, the concept is interesting. Mm-hmm. The cartel leader wanting to become, or who feels like they're a woman, so they want to become a woman. And then there's everything that comes with it because they have a family, how to deal with having kids and a wife. That was one of the things that was most interesting for me. But and how they would navigate that, but just the whole execution of everything else was bad to me.
A little bit random.
Yeah. And my exposure, I think we have all different levels of like no exposure. Because it was the opposite for me as it was for Carson, because I didn't know Selena Gomez was in it, but I knew Zoe Saldana was in it. And everything I knew about the movie was only from like 30-second videos on Instagram, two of
Yep.
them. And I think one of them is obviously the whole sex change operation song,
The one
which is
penis
like
and vagina.
maybe like
Can't believe that
top,
made it to the final cut.
like no exaggeration, maybe like top 2 worst songs I've ever
Yeah.
heard.
Mhm.
But it's also like
Was that serious?
watching that video was actually hilarious to me, so I thought this would be more, at least fun to
Funnier?
watch.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And the fact that it was actually a serious movie
Yeah.
actually took away from the from the viewing experience for me. So it made it not as like, it made it more of a drama that it wasn't like, it just didn't feel enjoyable.
I'm dead.
Which I guess are my initial thoughts about it.
Yeah, like I was completely surprised. So I went into the film already knowing that it was something about like a man wanting to go through surgery to become a woman. So like this story of transformation, and I was trying to like sort of like predict when we would hear this plot, and it came out of left field. Like just I wasn't expecting it at all. Like when she got kidnapped, like. I wasn't even at that point. I wasn't even thinking of like the whole trans storyline. I was just like, "Oh, this is a cartel movie," and I was like invested in like the whole like because I love cartel movies like Sicario and stuff. So I was already thinking like along those lines, and then out of nowhere, he says, "I want to be a woman," and I was like, "Oh shit, that's how they introduced the plot." And I was like, "Okay, that's actually pretty cool." I came out of left field, completely surprised. Music was terrible. I don't remember a single song. Also, the choreography was
You
so
remember
random.
one song. You remember one song.
Vagina. And, okay, me and Bernice were
Vagina to
thinking,
penis.
yeah, vagina to penis. We were talking about it after, like, was there a song that at least we remembered? There was actually once, aside from the penis and vagina song, it was the one where the doctor and Zoe Saldana were singing at each other.
Oh no!
It wasn't too bad.
Did
It
you
wasn't
like
too
that
bad.
one?
It wasn't too bad personally. It wasn't the worst.
The
It was
Zoe
probably
part.
the least
The Zoe
worst
part.
song. But everything else I sort of forgot. And last thing, super impressed with Zoe Saldana's like singing and dancing skills. I did not know she had that in her, but like very good movement, very good. Like she picks up choreography really well. Like her mannerisms, like the way she dances, you can tell that she's done it before, and it doesn't come off like unnatural, like how you might see other actresses because maybe they're not like they don't have that sort of naturalness to it. But I thought Zoe Saldana actually like really good acting, dancing, and even singing. I was impressed. Yeah, I thought she was really good.
Yeah, and the choreography there was pretty intricate. Like I was like, oh
Yeah,
wow, she
very
can dance.
intricate.
And every time there's a dance scene, we always look at that. And wow, she did great in those.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I specifically wanted to ask you guys, you two, because I know you're dancers. Like what you thought of the choreography throughout the movie. But
Random. Yeah, it was really. Yeah, it was just not well placed. Like for me, choreography has to like sort of match the mood and even like what's happening and especially the beginning scene where she was like walking through the market and then people were like dancing and doing like super intricate movements was so
Like West Coast vibes.
yeah it's like that's sort of a style that you would expect like in way different scenarios. In that scenario I would expect a different type of style that's a little bit more like fluid and contemporary, not so like staccato-y. It was very, very random. And in general, yeah, I don't think they like I know we're not like not everyone here is the biggest fan of Wicked, but I think Wicked did a better job at least sort of like trying to blend the choreography with the music
it fit
with the story. Whereas I think Emilia Perez would have been a very good film with literally zero singing and zero dancing, just a plot about like this unique idea of like a cartel leader wanting to become a woman.
I feel like the way that you guys feel about Emilia Perez is how I feel about all musicals. Like the musical just getting in the way of a good story.
Getting in the way. Yeah.
Well, and this is interesting because it's interesting that you specifically called out the first sequence when Zoe Saldana is walking through the town or whatever, because I was watching it and I'm not I don't know choreography. I'm not a dancer or anything like that, but it felt off. Like I felt like it wasn't good, but I didn't know why.
Why? Yeah.
So like having that perspective is very interesting, and it makes sense too. Like it just kind of the herky jerky movements, I think is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fit what's happening and what she's singing about, and it makes a whole lot of sense. And I feel like they had that problem throughout the movie with the musical numbers, which I agree all could have gone away, except for Penis to Vagina. That should stay. That should never. I mean, I wouldn't have watched this movie if it was not for that. So I guess I should give it credit.
I actually didn't mind that first scene. I thought I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is the artistic choice. Like they're going for something so contrasting, but then seeing the rest of the musical scenes, I'm like, never mind. They're just all really bad.
Yeah, they're just like it's like the choreographer only had one style, and that's the style he had to
just
apply.
did it every single time.
like understanding the context and
It just felt very forced. Like I was already having trouble being engaged in certain scenes, and all of a sudden they break out into song. I really don't like that.
Yeah, and I think that's a like prime example of what Carson was saying, and I think we're all on the same page about that, especially with when we were talking about the Joker too, where it's like musical numbers getting in the way of the story, right? Like it would have been an interesting movie on its own, and it felt like you said, it was forced, but not only forced, it was like they didn't really know how to make a musical, or like they've never done a musical before.
Yeah.
And it felt like that it's what they thought musicals were like. So let's do this. Like it's people talking and singing at the same time. And that's what a lot of like the Lady and Doctor song. I really didn't like that one because it was another example of them like they're just having a conversation. They can have a conversation. I know it's a musical, but you don't have to be talking. Like you don't have to be singing.
And it did almost feel like you say, it seems like they didn't know how to make a musical. Well, I don't know that this director actually has made a musical before. I haven't seen any of his stuff from the 80s and 90s, but all of his stuff from the 2000s is like noir or like indie western stuff. The other one which I forgot to mention was The Sisters Brothers, which is a very underrated western movie with John C. Reilly and Joaquin Phoenix, which is very good.
He did The Sisters Brothers?
He directed The Sisters Brothers, although I think the strength of that movie is it's really well written. It's based on a book. I actually went out and bought my wife another book from that same author just because I liked The Sister Brothers so much. But yeah, no, it definitely goes back to he's probably not made a musical. Maybe this is just him challenging himself, or maybe he did make them earlier in his career, I don't know. Versus Wicked, which was made by the guy who directed Justin Bieber's music videos. So there's a difference in background from these people, for sure.
Yeah.
The one musical the one song that I actually did like is the one during the fundraiser dinner, where like all the people were kind of frozen watching her, and Zoe Saldana was like dancing through the crowd. That was the one that I actually felt like did fit in and was done well.
Yeah. That was the intricate choreography I was talking about. That was also impressive to me. She did well in that scene.
Well, you know what? What's one scene that I thought they did really, really well with, like, okay, maybe not the song, but the way they set it up was, remember when Zoe Saldana, this is 5 years after the surgery, and they were in London, and they're at the dinner table, and then she realizes that Emilia Perez is Mindy's, and then if you notice, the like lights went dark, like it went completely black and was just them two. I thought that was really well done, like to sort of like make it feel like they're in their own world now, because like this discovery is so like insane. I thought that was really cool. And then they started singing, and then they ruined it. But yeah, but I thought that was a cool like scene change.
Yeah. I don't know. First, Zoe Saldana, I'm kind of conflicted because like she was going hard, like she's fully committed, and I could tell, and she, I mean, it looked like she is doing good, but it didn't feel like it. I don't know how to explain it. Like, or maybe it's just my own personal preference. And also like just the fact that like so many of the songs were like talk singing, which is like one of the things that I don't like about musicals. And it's also hard. Like I'm trying to not rip on it too hard because it's like all of it is in Spanish too, like, or like a lot of the songs. So like I was wondering if there's maybe like a translation, like the translation makes it sound worse because like I'm reading what they're saying, but maybe it's the other way around. Maybe what they're saying sounds better than what I'm reading. Because like what I'm reading is just very like it's very obvious. Like
Maybe.
I don't know how to give an example. It's like they're singing a beautiful song, but the words are just like I want to be a woman, or like there's no like artistry to it. Yeah. Not the fact that he wants to be a woman. There's nothing wrong with that. Like
maybe he said it in a more poetic way, like my desire.
In Spanish, the words that you're saying could sound better,
meaningful,
than the Google Translate version that I'm reading on the screen.
But I read somewhere that they were actually complaining about the Spanish.
Sorry. That was
one of Selena Gomez's Spanish, no? Like
I'm not sure.
Her accent or something compared to everyone else.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that's what I read, but yeah.
I read that too, but obviously I don't think anyone here can critique.
Wow, Zulu's Spanish is really good. That's exactly what we said. So, wrong judges.
And it was like, and I think at points she just gave up because then she would just speak English.
Yeah, that's what
there
I
was a song. It wasn't a doctor, I think. There was a song where all of a sudden she lost her Spanish accent completely, and then at the end it was back. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but okay. That's another thing. Like she would struggle with like switching between Spanish English and American English. So Selena, but I was more talking about Selena Gomez because it never explained like. She'll speak Spanish and then she'll just speak English out of nowhere to like characters who are, you can tell they're primarily Spanish speaking. So I didn't understand why she would switch and like and why would we assume that every other character can understand English really well. That's what I like. Why would she just randomly switch to English? I thought that was a bit random.
There is one line near the end where I think she asked someone like, "Are we going back to America?"
Yeah, like my cousin Louisiana or something like that. But
I think so. But like I think that would suggest that she's like Spanish American or Mexican American, maybe.
I didn't explain it.
Yeah, I think they lived there at some point.
In America?
I think so.
Maybe.
Okay. Like when they were sent away in hiding. I thought it was like Sweden or something.
So no, it's Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I got the impression that when they switched to English that was an intentional decision. I don't know why, but like not just simply like Selena Gomez couldn't speak, so they just went with it instead of reshooting it.
Instead of reshooting. It could have been that too. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a bit random.
Okay, but before we continue, I want to build on like the theme of us coming into this like with very, very low expectations and being somewhat surprised. Like what else did you feel was good about the movie? So we don't continue just like ripping it apart.
Was Manitas the same actor as Emilia Perez?
Yeah.
It was.
Yes.
I thought he did a good job in both characters. She. I thought she did a very good job in both characters.
Careful now.
But is she actually like
she's transgender.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know. Okay. I thought she did really well.
Yeah.
That was
The one thing, yeah, building on that, the one thing I thought she did really well is when, again, the whole like Mrs. Doubtfire thing where her family is living with her again, and then Selena Gomez is talking about like having an affair, like that
yeah.
whole acting of like you obviously want to be with your kids, you're interested in being back with your
Yeah.
wife, but you also don't want to like reveal yourself, you want to support them. Like I thought that she played that really well. And that was an
Mhm.
interesting kind of like
Yeah.
plot line.
Yeah, dynamic.
Maybe
I
this isn't.
also
Sorry, really quick. Just
ahead.
about that conversation specifically. This is more so like not a personal thing, but like a curious, like why was Emilia mad? Because
At Selena.
yeah, well, because I guess she still did love her wife before
I don't think she cared at all about like Selena
the
Gomez's
cheating.
character like cheating. She cared about when they were trying to take away the kids. I think
Yeah.
like like Amelia only cared about keeping her kids. She didn't really care about Selena
Mm.
Gomez.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, maybe I read that wrong then.
Mm.
I was like, I don't think you really cared about Selena Gomez. Why do you care if she's cheating? But anyways, sorry, go on, Brittany.
I know. I just wanted to commend also the actress, Emilia Perez, when she was still Manitas, when she was trying to describe her desire of really wanting to be a woman
Yeah.
now, because she's lived the rest of her life, in a body that she did not feel like was her own. I thought that was very effective. Like I really felt her desperation in doing this now. Like I think she said this line, something about like she couldn't cope anymore and she wanted to
Kill
take
herself.
her life or something, but it wasn't fair to leave the world without actually experiencing her real life. I thought that was very impactful. Like that's a very impactful line. So I was really rooting for her to go through this transition, and I thought it was really sad when she finally did it, and all of a sudden she was alone, in the hospital, on the hospital bed, underwent just the biggest surgery probably of her life, and there was no one there, and that was really
Yeah.
sad. So I think she did a really great job portraying that whole segment for me. I did
That's a
not
good
cry.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
In case.
No one cried. Carson, no, not.
I'm not
Almost.
opposed to crying during movies, but this one didn't do it for me.
On that note, from Bernice, like I think it also, I respect that the choice. I think one of the reasons I'm assuming that one of the reasons they chose to make it like a cartel leader as the main character is like to kind of demonstrate the just how big of a change. I mean, obviously it's a big change between like if you're going from men to women. Sorry. But like it's even more so evident like how big of a change it is because of like how different, like you have Emilia Perez who's like a humanitarian, and then versus the man who she used to be, who was like the
An
leader
alpha
of a
male.
drug cartel, like
Yeah.
a murderer, and like everything that Emilia Perez was doing in the future was like to kind of like working to undo or like get rid of what what she did in the past or like in that past life. I think it was a purpose, like a conscious decision to make it easier for like a regular person to understand, because it's I don't know, like it's so hard to put a not regular person, like someone who is not familiar with that kind of life to like understand what it's like. So it's just making it those two extremes kind of like helps demonstrate it. So I mean, I thought that was a good choice. But then when Emilia Perez started like going, I guess obviously it was because of her kids, but kind of going back down that downward slope, it was it kind of started going off the rails again for me,
Yeah.
like going up to the ending, which
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
get into.
Well, I was going to spoil that because that was one of my favorite parts of the movie when all the characters died at the end.
Yeah.
Um,
It was funny too, because like there's a car crash, right? Like
Yeah.
Emilia Perez is in the trunk.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez and her husband or boyfriend are like
Yeah.
they crash, and then the camera's like slowly pushing into the
Yeah.
car,
I was like,
thinking
nothing.
like, is someone gonna get out? And then it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
explodes.
Yeah, exactly. I had a feeling it would. I'm like, this car is definitely going to explode. But it was like a little bit of comedic timing because it was just like
Yeah.
staring at the car, not doing anything, and then 10 seconds later, it just blows
And then the
up.
movie ends. Like, that's it.
Oh man.
Those poor children.
I'm doing some reading about the movie, and I think it kind of hints at some of what you guys have suspected, but the composers who actually wrote the entire score and all the lyrics, they're French, not Spanish, and it was effectively just translated. So I think that's probably why it felt really clunky at times, is because it was not written in Spanish by someone who actually like can speak poetically in that language. It was simply translated. So
Well, why?
Maybe it would have sounded good in French, like.
maybe.
I've never heard of a French cartel, but yeah.
But then for that to still win an Oscar and like win, I think it won awards at Cannes, like is surprising to me. I think this Emilia Perez also won the Oscar over Wicked, right?
The movie itself won the Oscar?
For
Yes.
best what?
Oh, wow. Because I thought somebody won Best Actress. I think it was Zoe.
So Zoe Saldana won Actress. I want to say Wicked won like Best Song. Although it wouldn't have been original song, so they couldn't have won original song.
For Wicked?
Awards.
So Emilia Perez won Best Original Song and Best Supporting Actress.
Which
oh my god,
song
they
did it
won
win
a
for?
lot.
El Mal, and I don't know which one that is. Let's pull that one up.
No, they won a lot of things. Golden Globe Award for Best Motion Picture.
Yeah,
Can't
El
drink.
Mal is the one at the dinner function that everyone liked, so I guess that makes sense. But like, I didn't really like that song.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite song personally.
This is the first Oscars in a long time where I didn't actually watch the Oscars, so I didn't watch. Like, usually that's when I hear all the original song nominees.
Yeah, Wicked won only one Oscars for costume design and production design.
That's it.
Yes, but they were nominated for other ones.
Yeah.
They had 10 nominations actually.
So I'm not sure how famous this person is, but because she's from France, I'll ask you guys. But Camille, is that a famous French singer-songwriter, or is that just a person randomly?
Is there a last name?
Well, Camille Delmay, but they say she just goes by Camille.
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know. No.
I don't know.
Camille. So they won, Best Supporting Actress, Best Original Song. They're nominated for a whole bunch.
Who is this?
Emilia Perez. No, I was just saying that, they're just confirming that they won the two at the Oscars.
No, I mean the Camille person.
She wrote all the Emilia Perez music, which was later translated into Spanish.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just take a Spanish?
Yeah, that's strange for me.
Because this director is French, and it seems like everyone who made the movie is French. Why did they make a movie about cartels? I don't know.
That is a very French thing to
It's also funny because like it's all Spanish, and then at the end, like the end credits are in French.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, I was a little bit confused. Now it makes sense. But yeah, when I was watching, I'm like, why is everything written in French? Like I thought I was watching like a torrented version, like from like screened in France, and that's why everything was in French. But okay, it's my.
Okay, now it makes sense because I also read a lot of complaints, I think, from Mexican people and how they didn't like how a lot of stereotypes were depicted in this film. Like they were trying to touch upon many social aspects, but at the end, you didn't really learn anything, or it didn't help any sort of idea about their culture or problems that they had. They actually just made use of the usual cartel story and then touch upon one subject and then, like the humanitarian thing, but then they also left that right away. So they didn't fully go deep into any real theme, I guess, apart from, I think, from the point when she transitioned, then it kind of went downhill. So now it makes sense that nobody in this part of the
So it's more
world
like
was
virtue signaling than like actually caring about what they were trying to talk about.
Well, I mean, I think it's more of an issue of them using like that Mexican culture or those Mexican stereotypes as a vehicle for actually telling a message about like the transgender story. Because I think their focus was the transgender story. They were just using these other things and not putting the same level of, I guess, effort or like to tell that story, which is I'm assuming what the complaint is from what Bernice was saying. Because I get that for sure. Like I can see that. I mean, obviously, me not knowing, I don't know either what the cartels are really like.
I didn't know it was a purely French film.
Now it's like
now it made sense.
I feel like that kind of thing has come up a little bit more recently. Because have you seen the most recent season of Squid Game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see, like, there was a whole thing about the VIPs?
English, the English speaking VIPs.
Yeah. So apparently they were like, they're all English actors and they all did their lines like normally, but then they were ADR'd in post-production. So like they were dubbed over by other English actors. So like they said their lines in English and then they dubbed it over with other English actors saying the lines in English for some reason. And they're like one of the actors was saying like he has no idea why they did that. They already were like reading these lines with like no context as to what was happening, which is why it sounds so awkward in the actual show. But maybe it's just maybe it's a taste of what other cultures feel like when we watch American movies and we have people speaking other languages and that's what it sounds like to them. But now we have like full movies and full full scenes of other shows that are doing the same thing.
I read about that Squid Games issue. Apparently, it's very common in K-drama where they dub over English speakers because they make it sound. They remove their accents basically. Like they make them speak clearer for non-English speakers who are probably still trying to learn English. So they take away any of the, I don't know, quick
nuance, like the nuance or the casual tone or whatever.
We don't notice.
Right. Yeah. It's more of like enunciation, like
exactly. It's enunciation.
Look what that guy's doing.
Exactly that. Yeah.
It's actually like one of my favorite things when I'm watching an international movie and then someone randomly starts speaking English and you're like, oh my god, is that what English speaks like or sounds like? But it's like usually it's somebody who like speaks the native language as well, and so like when they speak English, it's much more like slowed down. And it's like it's almost like a different version of English, which I still appreciate when I hear. But
but it is jarring. Like I never realized, or it always like stuck out to me, but I never really understood why. So this makes a lot of sense.
But but now that you mentioned that it was completely done by like a French cast, it sort of like puts a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth on the movie now. It's like, I hope there was some input from like the people who represent the culture, even if it was written by French people. But like, it's a little bit weird that,
Selena Gomez was their advisor, their cultural advisor.
Even Selena Gomez is not the best representative of Mexican, Spanish, or Latin American culture apparently. But yeah.
When we say this, I like visualize like so I when I visited you guys in France, I
Yeah.
bought a SIM card, and then I had to cancel it like after I was back home, and there's no way for me to. Sorry, this is gonna make sense, I promise. But um, uh, I was trying to cancel it, and I had to do it online, like on support chat,
Okay.
because I had an overage that I had to pay.
Uh,
So I was navigating the website in French and I was like talking to the person in French and I was using Google Translate and like having a conversation with the person, like the support person using Google Translate. I can only imagine what I was saying because even me with like limited French knowledge, I could see what
yeah.
it was translating my sentences into and I was like, this
Yeah.
doesn't look right, but I don't have any other choice, so I'm gonna put it in anyway. And I knew, and we were like, we had to go over things like over and over again because clearly wasn't making sense. I feel like this is what it's just like what the script writing or the songwriting for
Yeah.
Emilia Perez was like.
No, it's strange. It's strange. Yeah, because there's definitely nuance. Like if you take Google Trans, like most of the time you're taking a literal Google translation,
It goes word
doesn't.
for word, and
It
doesn't
goes
make
word for
sense.
word, and the usually the tone is quite formal. It's like not the type of French that you would use on a like day-to-day basis. I'm wondering if that happened in this with the script writers for Emilia Perez. I hope not, but yeah, I thought it is a bit strange.
Yeah. I feel like we did a good job about being positive. Which is more than I could say. Like we did better than we did for Megalopolis and Joker 2, I think.
Oh yeah.
What would you rate? Would you put Emilia over Megalopolis? I think that's a
Oh, yeah.
Personally,
easy
yes.
yes.
Personally, I would, yes.
I would too, yeah.
Yeah, Megalopolis was
I would not watch either movie again.
For sure. Yeah. I would just watch that one clip on Instagram and that's it. Like of the surgery song.
Hey, wait, was that scene supposed to be serious? Because now I can't tell.
It doesn't fit
Like,
with the rest of the movie, right?
But if it's not, why would they try to make it a parody? And when it's such a serious film, you know what I mean? So
maybe
I think it had to be serious.
inflation.
I would interpret it as playful, not outright comedic, but not serious.
And it became unintentionally
It
comedic.
fooled me, yeah.
Like why was she so excited about Adam's apple reduction? Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Did you get a BBL?
what?
Did.
I think that was an option because you had those three ladies.
No, but
with
it
their
was it
butts
for
up.
was it for her or was it for Emilia
No,
Perez?
she did get.
Like herself.
She did get it.
Okay.
If you see the
Wait.
next scene when she was they put a bag over her head in her apartment. Right before that, she turned around and she had a big ass.
Wait, Zoe Saldana did?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think she got it there, but I think they did like the 4 or 5 year transition, and like she looked quite different when she was like in Switzerland, and I feel like she got a bunch of work done.
Oh, so then she like benefited herself from this
Yeah.
like research.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rewatch that
Really.
scene since
I
you
didn't
like.
cat- I
anyway.
mean, I guess so then maybe that suggests it was supposed to be like a little more lighthearted. But
I don't know.
it
Yeah.
just because so many things. Like Zoe Saldana, native English speaker, pretending to be a Spanish speaker who's pretending to be bad at English when like she was speaking to like
Yeah.
Yeah. The doctor.
having an accident. An
An
accent.
accent.
Also an accident. Yeah. Sorry, I'm so fixated on that one song. That was what birthed this whole episode. So I have to give it its due.
Did you know that Emilia Perez was shot entirely in a studio near Paris with a
What?
predominantly non-Mexican cast and crew, and
I did know
received
that.
significant criticism
I could
for
have
its
guessed
portrayal of
that.
Mexico. Except,
Okay.
I mean, I just naturally assumed that.
I thought everyone was like I thought it was based in Mexico. Yeah, that's okay. That's even worse.
Wait, so even like a lot of the scenes in Mexico were like just in the middle of the desert, which I feel like was a little unfair, but
Hmm.
And he was.
I guess that's how they got around it.
I don't know.
Like the whole ending sequence, it was just like some dark.
Like CGI type of thing.
No, it was like a warehouse or something. Like not a
Yeah.
warehouse. It was like some hut
Yeah.
in the
I know.
desert.
I
Right?
don't think that was shot in Mexico.
No, I know. That's how they got around not shooting in Mexico.
Oh man.
All right. Any last comments on Emilia Perez?
No. No. Would not recommend. Like
Not for the music.
even for people who like musicals, it doesn't do really well as a musical or as a movie. It would be nice if it was remade into just a straight up movie, maybe with more input from Mexican people.
Non-translated songs.
All right, so I guess my final question before we end off the episode, and I can probably guess the answers, but Wicked 2 coming out in theaters this November. Will you guys be seeing it in theaters, and are there any other musicals you know that coming up that you're actually looking forward to?
Yes, for Wicked 2. Wicked for good, for sure. Definitely. Other musicals, I'm not particularly familiar with what's coming out the rest of the year, but I mean, if I see them, I see them. I'm sure I'll see some on social media, and usually I do watch musicals. So, yeah. Otherwise, it's just Wicked on the radar.
Are there
Emilia
any?
Perez too. She's actually alive.
She's alive.
Or Zoe Saldana wants to do that. No, sorry. Bernice?
Oh yeah, I would definitely watch Wicked 2. Oh, sorry, Wicked for Good in the theater. Please tell me if there's another musical coming up because I have no idea.
I couldn't find any. I did a quick search. I feel like I'm invested enough in Wicked that there's a part of me that will want to watch Wicked 2 once it's like out on streaming. I would not go to the theaters for it.
Ah, we
Maybe
didn't. Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll just plan another episode around it so that Carson has to watch it.
Yeah.
No, I won't do that. I've learned my lesson from today. I'm not gonna cook up any more ideas like this.
Lesson learned.
All right. Well, thanks both of you for joining. Thank you for this conversation of musicals. Otherwise, I would not have been able to watch these wonderful movies. So as always, thanks for joining on the podcast, and thanks everyone for listening, and tune in again next time.